The flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor your Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state under God, all for years.
Good. I'm going to the last one today. I'll visit if you're looking. Let the record show that all the commissioners are present. This time we have any citizen comments? None, so we'll move straight into the consent agenda. I hope you've had a chance to go over the consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as presented. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Now let's move into our regular agenda. The first item today is to accept the record of the required monthly operation reports. I know y'all have them in your package. Is there any discussion on these, or does anyone have anything they want to add or share about what's happening? Tara, I know that you had a big time out there. How'd it go? Tell us about it a little bit.
The fair went great. It was a lot of hours. We had a record number of people there this year. No trouble, knock on wood. It was great.
Thank you for what you did. All right, anything else? Okay, now we'll go ahead and approve the reports as they were presented in your package.
So moved.
Have a motion? Second. And a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That'll pass. Let's go to item number 8, receive and approve safety report. So I'll ask Commissioner Friday if you will tell us what's happening.
Incidents with Coast Guard, I'm giving a motion to approve the safety of incidents.
Okay.
Second.
And a second. We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor say aye. Any opposed? And that will pass. Item number 9, I think we can probably skip that today on the county burn ban. Let's go to item number 10 then. Discuss and take action on our proclamation of the Child Abuse Prevention Month. And do we have people here for that group? I'm gonna read this as best I can, okay? So, do y'all have anything that you might want to say in regards to the Child Prevention Month? Child Abuse Prevention Month, I should say. Nobody wants to speak? All right. Okay, whereas whereas Child Abuse Prevention Month is intended to draw attention to the fact that child abuse is widespread and has strong implications for every community member of Limestone County, and whereas we believe that the citizens of our community are to be valued as the future of our community, and we should prioritize their safety, and whereas nearly 600,000 children are abused each year in the United States, and whereas we must address the reality that 1 in 6 boys and 1 in 4 girls will experience sexual assault before age 18, and whereas the United States Advisory Board on Child Abuse and Negligence suggests that domestic violence may be the single leading procedure or precursor to child abuse and negligent fatalities, and whereas public health emergencies increase in the risk for child abuse and neglect due to increased stressors and loss of financial and social support during the COVID-19 pandemic, reporting of these abuses decreased, while the severity of emergency department visits related to child abuse and neglect increased, and whereas staff and volunteers of violence prevention programs at rural resources victim service encourage every person to speak out when witnessing acts of violence, however small, and whereas child abuse prevention is a community responsibility and finding solutions depends on the involvement among all people. We must work together to educate our community about what can be done to prevent child abuse and how to support survivors and their families. And whereas Limestone County strongly supports the efforts of national, state, and local partners and every citizen to actively engage in public and private efforts, including conversations about what the child abuse is, how to prevent it, how to help survivors connect with services, and how every segment of our society can work together to better address child abuse in all of its forms. Therefore, be it resolved that we, the Limestone County Commissioners Court, join anti-sexual violence advocates and support services in the belief that all community members must be part of the solutions to end sexual violence. Along with the United States government and the state of Texas, we do hereby proclaim April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Passed by the Limestone County Commissioners Court in record session at Groesbeck, Texas, this 9th day of April 2024. Limestone County Judge, do I have a motion to approve this proclamation? We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And we'll wait to sign. I want to thank you all for coming in and all the support that y'all do. Thank you. Again, I'd love for y'all to stand up and tell us anything that y'all do as far as this goes. All right, thank you for your volunteers and your efforts. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, let's move along then to item number 11, discuss take action on proclamation of National Public Safety Telecommunications Week, April 14th through 20th. And we will try again to read. It's hard to read with one eye, but I'll do the best I can. All right, whereas it is an emergency, most Americans depend on 911. Each day, more than 500,000 public safety telecommunicators answer desperate calls for help, responding with services that save the lives and property of citizens in need of assistance. And whereas public safety telecommunicators serve our citizens daily in countless ways, the work of these unseen first responders is invaluable in emergency situations, and each of these dedicated men and women deserve our heartfelt appreciation. Americans place their trust in these individuals every day of the year, and whereas the safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the Limestone County Communications Center, and whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services, and whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring the activities by radio, providing them information, and ensuring police officers and firefighters' safety, and whereas the public safety telecommunicators of Limestone County Communications Center have contributed substantially to apprehension of criminals, suppression of fires, and treatment of patients, and whereas each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year, and whereas this week is a time for Limestone County to show its appreciation and recognize our health, safety, and well-being are often dependent on the commitment and steadfast devotion of public safety telecommunications, and therefore be it resolved that the Limestone County Judge Richard Duncan and the Limestone County Commissioners Bobby Forrest, Bill Davis Sather, Stephen Friday, and Mike Am 14th through April the 20th, 2024 to be National Public Safety Telecommunications Week in Limestone County in honor and appreciation for these outstanding men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our cities, county, and citizens safe. Signed this 9th day April 2024 by Richard Duncan. I have a motion to approve this.
So moved.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? So that will pass. So do we have anybody here besides Matt?
This is the ordinance here. We got hit by lightning last night in dispatch. Phones are down, everything's down. They're just trying to hold it together out there. IT's out there. We had nothing come up last night, so it's been kind of a bad night. Otherwise, it would have been there. They're just trying to keep the lid on what they're out.
Okay. That being the case, we did have a motion and a second, and we vote on it? Okay, let's go ahead and go to item number 12. This is removed from discussion and table action to approve Limestone County financial policies and procedures in Limestone County purchasing and department policy procedures. Do I have a motion to remove this from the table? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And that will pass. Let's go ahead and go to item 13, no discuss and take action on an addendum to the current Limestone County, Texas purchasing policy and procedures manual. Once again, we brought this last time. I think there was some question exactly what we were replacing. And so I called the lady back from the state. I said, other than our names on this, is there anything? She goes, really, this is just an addendum to your current policy. And the main reason for the addendum is to be able to make sure that we get the federal information in our policy so that Matt can get his grant that he needs. So with that being said, does anybody want to make a motion to talk about this or to approve?
I move we approve the agenda policy.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That'll pass. Let's go ahead and go to item number 14. Let's discuss the action on Limestone County Commissioner's order for disbursement of salaries and routine office expenses established December 14, 2021. This is something that I think that we came up with. I think everyone except I think Commissioner Anderson was not here when we did this. The main thing that we're trying to do right now is I'm trying to find out if there's a reason that we cannot take routine utilities because, and have those sent straight to the auditor's office for payment. Once that's done, then we can then go back and find out if we think there's any problems. But what happens is, just to give you an example, if the Postal Service sends out our electric bill, okay? All y'all know how long it takes for the Postal Service to work nowadays. It takes a little while for us just to get it. Once it comes in to like my office, and I have to be responsible for the electric bills for the whole courthouse, evidently, I guess. But if Chantel's off or if I'm gone and I can't approve it, that's another day or two, maybe even 3 waiting before it actually gets to the auditor's office. Tasha, you can help me on this. Once it gets to your office, then approved, then it has to go back down to the treasurer's office. And then do we have to wait then before it's paid? My question is, what I'm trying to figure out, is there a reason that we can't have the utilities, routine utilities or credit cards, go straight to your office for payment?
They are already being done that way. They just have to first go to a department head
That's what I'm
and
trying
be
to get.
signed
Right, that's
for
what
approval.
okay. That's what I'm trying to get away from, is having to go to each, routine utilities have to go to each department for approval.
There's a government code that says that each bill, invoice be approved by the department head before my office then processes it.
Okay. All right, so because of this code right now, this is a federal government code. This is, by the way, this is the first I've seen of this, by the way. My question is that I guess we'll keep doing it. I don't know why. I can't be responsible for electricity, whether it's good or bad or ugly. And if we get billed, we're either going to have to pay or get a late fee, so.
Well, we already do hand checks on anything that is gonna, if it's gonna be late, I'm holding it for Commissioner's Court approval. That's why, not only this order was set in place that y'all are discussing, was for when you decide to not have a meeting, like during Christmas time and such. This then gives the treasurer authority to go ahead and mail the checks prior to the court approving them.
That's not late.
So it's not, so those aren't late. We already have set in place, and we've done for years, that utility bills or any kind of bill, the computers, the software, certain ones, if there's gonna be a late fee charged to it, we already do a hand check, which means we're already cutting and issuing the check. The only requirement is any invoice, any bill needs to be signed by a department head prior to it being processed. That is given the authority to our department to take that money out of their budget. They're seeing it, they're okaying it, and we're moving forward with it.
we've already adopted this back in 21.
Yes, sir. And it was put in place and mainly
For the meetings
for
or
the
the
meetings
holiday,
that are
for
canceled.
a holiday or canceled meetings.
Because ultimately, like the checks that you just pre-approved just a few minutes ago, those checks are being held in the treasurer's office right now. They've already been processed, they've been entered, checks have been cut.
Which happened,
They have not been signed or mailed yet, not until the court approves them. Then she starts signing. When she's done signing them, then she sends the stack up to me, I sign them, send them back down to her, and then she mails them.
Other counties do that on their treasury department.
It's the same. The treasurer's office or,
There are some that don't have a treasurer's department.
correct. And
So
so
her-
the auditor's office takes on a lot of those responsibilities along with the county clerk's office.
So, let me ask you this question. There's no fear of us having late fees here, right?
Sometimes if the bill is not made, sent up to our office, and it's after the date it's due, or it's 2 days before it's due, I mean, sometimes there's just no control. A lot of times we try to call and let them know if they can, sometimes they'll waive it, sometimes they don't. Late fees, we don't have that many.
So you're saying like, I guess would it be, if anything, the department head's fault for holding the bill and not getting it to you?
Yes. And every bill that comes into our office is stamped. When it's put into the, we have a box that sits right on our door. Everything comes in and is placed into that box. As soon as stuff hits that box, somebody from my office gets up, it's date stamped. It has a date and time of when it has come in. So we know when it's hit our office.
All right, so let me tell you the reason this came up, is that I don't understand why my office or Murray, do you know everything there is about electricity out there? Do you know if it's good or bad? If the bill that came to your building, do you know if it's good? Do you know if that's, or you're approving that,
I
right?
know if they're consistent.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
don't know much of ours.
I'd be shocked if you know that much about the electricity in your building.
basically what you're saying,
I
the
don't
rubber stamp.
Stop about 2, 3, or 4, 5 days worth of wait of processing for simple utilities. But, and I'll do some research on this right here, since let's see, let me make sure. At 9:15, I got this today, so I'll do some research. If y'all will table this item right here, I'll get back with you to find out.
I've heard that some counties are starting, and some federal agencies are starting to go electronically payment. Is that something that we're gonna look at in the future, or to eliminate check writing?
That's gonna be something more probably through the treasurer,
I know a lot of bigger areas are starting to do that. You know,
because that would put it on the treasurer then, because she's the one that actually has to cut and disperse the payments.
The problem
As
is
the
not,
guidelines.
the problem, you're right, that would save time.
I mean, if you're running late on something, you just pay it online and quick it's done.
Well, the point I'm trying to make, Steve, is this right here.
It's still, the invoice is
Excuse
still
me
being
just a minute,
signed.
excuse me a minute.
I'm
When I'm
sorry.
talking, what I'm trying to say here, Stephen, is that a lot of these places don't give you 2 or 3 weeks nowadays. A lot of times it's 10 or 15 days is all you have. And if it's 5 days coming in and 5 days going out, that doesn't give you much time. That's the only reason this is on the agenda. It's to see if there's a way that we can do away with reoccurring utilities is all I'm trying to do. I'm gonna ask that we go ahead and table this item. Let me do some homework on it. Do I have a motion to table this item? So I have a motion. Second. And a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? All right. Item number 15 is for record, reinstatement of sick days, vacation days for employees who filed a workers' comp claim. As y'all remember, some time ago, Amelia, I shouldn't say her name, I guess, an employee, sorry about that. The employee was off on some workers' comp. One of the things that we did is we changed the rules to our local policy. And unfortunately, it did not make her absolutely whole. I went ahead and made a decision that she should have to use 21 hours of sick and 12 hours of vacation, even though we changed that. So I can actually give her the administration time back, but I thought I'd just bring it before y'all. The idea was we were gonna make this person whole. And so I'm asking that we reimburse this employee 21 hours of sick and 12 hours of vacation time.
Actually, there's no money, we're just changing in our time.
Yep.
So,
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you for that. Okay, let's go to, item number 16, discuss take action on utility agreement with Market Septic for LCR 763. Jerry, tell me everything we need to know about this.
All we're gonna do is, there's not enough room on the lakeside, they need a new septic system. There's not enough room on the lakeside, so we're gonna bore underneath the road and put it on the spray nozzles across the road inside the little beer can. That's what they're gonna, that's what they're proposing to do.
So they're bored out of the road.
Yes, yeah, it'll be a normal bore.
A motion to approve
So,
and a second. Was that a second? Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any fuel fobs and relation to fuel reports. Y'all don't require the fuel report. If I understand correctly, the auditor's office is the only office that requires the report. Is that correct?
No,
Okay, so no one needs a fuel report?
I mean, if the department does, because if they need to look and see how their employees are using it.
Okay, what I'm saying is you don't require it.
No, I can do my journal entry without that report.
Okay, but it's not done then. All right, that being the case, then, I'll probably get, Paul, I'm probably gonna get you in the future, if we need this, the information, I may get you to start getting it, it's, you got a vehicle, currently Chantel's going to get it, I just think it'd be easier if you went and got it, and then we'll just leave the fuel report, if there is one, if we don't even need one, I don't even know, I gotta figure out why we're even doing this, to be frank. You don't need it, so I don't know why we're even getting it. Anyway,
My understanding is for if down the road, we go back, like I said, and see what their employees used or, you know, yes, then you have it run, you have it downloaded, and you have access to it for down the road.
who produces that fuel report?
It's a machine out there that,
There's,
Chantel would,
there's an electronic machine now that you have to use a key fob. Road and Bridge has it, there's a key fob designed for, or
What are we
assigned
talking
to
about
each
taking
road.
action on?
well, what we were trying to figure out, if the auditor's office is the only one needing the report, I was gonna let them go, I was gonna get them to go get the actual report, we don't need it.
I would
She
think
said she
department
doesn't-
heads would wanna see their fuel. Who? The department head. I mean, I would think Murray would wanna see his fuel report.
We keep it paper log, because we always had our own fuel tank before Road and Bridge started using it. So we kept a hand copy fuel log. You write down your mileage, the amount of gallons you got, and then we're able to keep track for the month and for the year. So next year when we come to budget time, we can say we've used this much fuel or this much fuel. A few years ago, they combined Road and Bridge and us. It's in there. That's when Judge and them did the key fobs, which is essentially the same thing as a paper log, where then we can see when there is a discrepancy or there's an issue, we can see who's getting the gas. If you have a certain vehicle that's getting gas on this date or that date, or if you're filling up your gas cans or whatever, and it's just kind of keep track of the fuel, what's there, the bars we always have.
I know,
I don't know where the the court set up the key fobs 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and I don't know where that report goes.
okay,
But we keep a hand on it.
report, it might not be a bad idea for every department head to get a copy of that, so that they can see how many gallons are going through.
Yeah, we keep our own paper log.
But y'all keep it.
So Robbie sees,
You're keeping,
so
so
all you see what
again,
yours is?
if that's the case, then we don't need this report. If y'all are doing it already, we don't need this report then, right?
I've never had that report. We just, like I said, we keep a handwritten copy log.
And Chantel, if I understand correctly, you go get it, you print it out and send it to the auditor, right? Okay, then I guess we won't have to do that anymore. Okay then, fantastic, because we'll still have it on the page for a period of time, correct? We'll find it. All right, let's go ahead and, no action on that today. Just comments, I don't really have a whole lot, I only just got through with the clips. I hope everybody enjoyed that. I know the fair came on the side. We're glad for the work that you do. I was shocked at how many people went out to Fort Parker yesterday. There was a ton of people out there watching the eclipse. And so that being the case, I don't really have anything other than I guess that's really gonna be it. So I'll go ahead and stop there. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second, first. I make a motion. I make a motion.